2025 is shaping up to be an amazing year for video games, so I wanted to take the time to highlight some of the games I am most excited to play. I won't be including any Switch 2 games since the games haven't been announced yet, besides a new Mario Kart entry, which would absolutely be included in this video if there was more information about the game and had a release date. So without further ado, here are 19 games that have me excited for 2025. Kicking things off, I have a few games that have already been released. The first being Eternal Strands. The vibes of this game immediately remind me of the newer Legend of Zelda titles, especially with the game's art style and the creative gameplay options. I love games that have a heavy focus on climbing, whether it be climbing a mountainside or climbing up a large boss. The freedom to climb anything is always a welcome addition. Next up is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, I haven't played the first game, so I don't know if I'm going to play the first or just dive right into the second game, but either way, I'm very excited to check this one out. This will probably be the most content-rich game that I will play this year. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a hardcore RPG with deep systems to learn that all serve to help you feel deeply immersed in the world. I've heard nothing but great things about this game, which has me eager to get my hands on it at some point this year. The final game that has already been released is Avowed. Avowed is a fantasy RPG from Obsidian and is one of Xbox's big titles of the year. I've been cautiously optimistic about this game, and every time they show off the game, I am impressed with the visuals and wide variety of environments on display, but the combat looks a little floaty to me. Hopefully the story and quest are engaging to play. This being on Game Pass makes it an easy decision to at least try it out. The rest of the games talked about have yet to be released, and let's start off with Monster Hunter Wilds, the next entry in the mega popular Monster Hunter franchise. I tried playing Monster Hunter World back in the day, but felt overwhelmed by all the gameplay systems and quickly dropped it. I'm excited to give this one a try, and after playing the beta, this has shot up to one of my most anticipated games of the year. There are 14 weapon classes to choose from, creating a nice variety of playstyles to perfectly suit the type of hunter you want to be. Going out on monster hunts was a thrill in the beta, and I would imagine that feeling will carry over into the full release. I'm fully expecting this game to dominate critically and commercially. Atomfall is set in an alternative history 1960s where a nuclear disaster turned much of the northern England into a radioactive quarantine zone. On the surface, this game looks like a Fallout ripoff, but it's a much different game. The developer Rebellion Developments have said that the game is non-linear storytelling, where you will be given a series of questions that would act as your quest, and it's up to you to decide how you want to tackle these leads. So depending on which NPCs you interact with, it will lead to different outcomes. This all sounds great in theory, but we really don't know until the game is in our hands. From Compulsion Games, South of Midnight is another Xbox published game coming out this year. The thing that immediately stands out is the game's art style. The stop-motion animation is such a unique look for a video game, and the game's setting being the Deep South should provide for some beautiful scenery to get lost in. Previews for the game have already come out, and most of the common criticism for the game seems to be with its combat, mostly due to it being very simple and one note. However, with the game being said to only be 10 to 12 hours long, I don't think this will be a huge problem. As long as the story and the characters are strong, they can make up for the simple gameplay. From one stop-motion game to another, The Midnight Walk is a claymation stop-motion horror game from Moonhood. The characters in the game and the environments look straight out of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. This game looks like it's going to be terrifying and filled with jump scares galore. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has so much potential to be a Game of the Year contender, featuring a rockstar cast starring Charlie Cox, Jennifer English, who played Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3, Ben Starr, who played Clive Rossfield in Final Fantasy XVI, and Andy Serkis. A really cool setup for the story, where in this game's world, each year the paintress marks her cursed number, erasing the lives of those in Lumiere who are that age. Tomorrow, she will paint the number 33. The game is a turn-based RPG with real-time mechanics that look similar to the turn-based combat found in the Paper Mario series. This game could easily be the surprise hit of the year. Doom: The Dark Ages looks badass, dude. For real, this game looks like it's just going to be a ton of non-stop fun. The shield attacks, parries, and executions look so sick, and the giant mech suit fights look absolutely ridiculous. This game's gonna come out and it's gonna be awesome. I love the game Control. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. I loved exploring the oldest house and trying to unravel all of its secrets. I loved the story and all the twists and turns it took you on. Jesse Faden felt like an unstoppable badass in combat, using all of her newly gained powers to fight off the hiss. So to go from a focused single-player experience to a cooperative 3-player first-person shooter is an interesting choice. Firebreak takes place years after Control as you play as a member of the Firebreak team called in to help deal with the hiss problem. It will no doubt be fun to run around the oldest house again with some friends this time, and I hope there's a cool story surrounding the new gameplay. Metal Gear Solid is a franchise that I've never played, and it's a series that I've wanted to play for a while now. And with the upcoming release of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, there's never been a better time to play the originals. This remake is a faithful recreation of the original Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and will likely lead to the rest of the original games having remakes. Metal Gear Solid Delta is definitely a game that I will be checking out in 2025. Sea of Stars was one of my favorite games for 2023, so I'll definitely be playing this free DLC expansion. A brand new story, new playable characters, new fighting styles, a brand new OST score, and the inclusion of 3-player local co-op to the game makes this the perfect time to play Sea of Stars if you haven't already. Mouse P.I. for Hire is a boomer shooter with a 1930s inspired art style. This game has been on my radar for quite some time, and now it's finally coming out this year. I'm hoping that the detective parts of the game are fleshed out to create a nice breather from all the run and gunning that you'll be doing in the game. The art style alone has me so excited to play this. Speaking of amazing art styles, Shinobi Art of Vengeance might have my favorite art style of any of the games in this video. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a hand-drawn 2D action platformer that I fully expect to absolutely love playing. This game really just speaks to me on another level, and I cannot wait to play it. Hell Is Us has absolutely nailed all of its trailers. This game looks like it could be incredible. It looks very inspired from Software and Remedy games in terms of the world and atmosphere. This game is not a Souls-like, but shares the same ideology of From Software's game design, where they don't directly show you where to go, and it's up to you to interpret where the game wants you to go. The enemies look so inspired by Control, and the game's art direction looks amazing. Fingers crossed that they can stick the landing. Elden Ring Night Rain is going to take over gaming when it comes out in May. From Software is at the height of their powers, and now they're finally giving their fans a true cooperative experience. Now, this is not a traditional Souls game, it's a roguelike, so I'm very curious to see how long this game is, but there's no doubt it's going to be a blast to play with friends. Alright, I really need to go finish up Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring before this game drops. Ghost of Yotei is going to be incredible, I have no doubt in my mind. Sucker Punch makes amazing games. From Sly Cooper to Ghost of Tsushima, the studio does not miss. I cannot wait to explore Yotei and do everything in this game. I'm hoping that we get more duels in this one, as the duels in Tsushima was one of my favorite parts of the entire game. My favorite game of 2023 was Liza P, and we finally got the DLC announcement for Liza P Overture. Set before the Puppet Frenzy, we're going to learn more about the fascinating city of Krat, and we're going to take on more amazing boss fights. All of the new weapons and Legion arms look really cool, and I cannot wait to dive back into this game when the DLC drops this summer. Last but certainly not least, we have Grand Theft Auto 6. Possibly the most anticipated game of all time. This game is under so much pressure to deliver, and there's no doubt going to be people who will claim to be disappointed when it finally comes out, but those people do not matter. This is Rockstar Games we're talking about. This is the studio that made Red Dead Redemption 2. You can call GTA Online a cash grab, which it absolutely is. I don't like GTA Online, but that's not going to get in the way of Rockstar putting out an incredible single-player experience for GTA 6. 2025 is going to be a legendary year, and GTA 6 is going to be the main dish at the table. Who am I kidding? GTA 6 is going to get delayed to 2026.